All right, so talking about translations today, we're going to fill in these blanks at the very top here. Okay, a translation is a transformation or a movement of a shape without flipping or rotating it and keeping it the same size. Okay, so when we do a translation, all we're doing is simply moving the picture across the graph. We're not going to flip or rotate or spin or make it any bigger or smaller. Okay, all we're doing is just shifting it. Okay? A pre-image is the original figure. So this is how we refer to the shape that we're looking at from the very beginning, okay, before we make any kind of movement. And the image is the figure after the translation has been applied. Okay, so the way that we refer to it is the pre-image is where we start, the image is where we land. Okay, a translation can be written out in words. So for example, I could say that we translate left 3 and down 2. So we would start with the pre-image, and we would take that pre-image and translate it left 3 and down 2. The formula or the rule that we use when doing translations can also be written out like this. Okay, we have xy goes to x plus 1, y minus 2. So this would mean that we shift the pre-image 1 unit to the right, because x moves your shape left or right. So a plus 1 would be in the positive direction, which is towards the right. And then the y minus 2 tells us we're going to go 2 units down. Sorry for the typo. Okay? A lot of the way that we're going to see things, see the translation, is written as the rule this way instead of in words. All right, so looking on down here at example 1, we're going to translate the figure 2 units to the right and 3 units down. So we're starting with the pre-image ABCD, and then we're going to translate it. So I'm going to take each of these points, and I'm going to move them 2 units to the right and 3 units down. So I'm going to start with point A. So from point A, I'm going to go over to the right, 1, 2, and then down, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the pre-image was A. So to notate the image, once we've translated it, I'm going to use A with an apostrophe. Okay, and the way that we read that is A prime. And that lets us know that we've translated the picture. All right, so now I'm going to take point B. I'm going to go 2 units to the right and 3 units down. So that point will be B prime. Okay, I did the same thing for C. I'm going to go 1, 2, and then down 1, 2, 3. And D. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we can connect our image to make the shape. All right, so in example 2, the pre-image that they give us are simply just the coordinates of the picture. So I'm going to graph my pre-image, and then I'll translate. So A is at 2, 0. B is at 2, negative 3. C is at negative 1, 0. And D is at negative 1, negative 3. So I plot my pre-image. I'm going to connect my dots and make a square here. And now I'm going to do the translation. I'm going to translate the figure 3 units to the left and 2 units up. Okay, so I'm going to take each of these points and go 3 units to the left and 2 units up. So from C, I go to the left, 1, 2, 3, and up, 1, 2. And this new point we're going to name C prime. Okay, A, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and up, 1, 2. B, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and up, 1, 2. And then D, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and up, 2. Okay, and then we connect the dots. And so I took figure A, B, D, C here, my pre-image, and I have translated it and got A prime, B prime, D prime, C prime. Alright. Alright, so on the back of the notes here, okay, we're going to do this translation, but this time instead of it being in words, they give it to us in the formula. Okay, so I have xy goes to x minus 3, y minus 4. Okay, so the translation tells me x minus 3, I'm going to go to the left 3, and then y minus 4 tells me I'm going to go down 4. So I take my pre-image, ABC, and I'm going to go left 3, down 4. So from point A, I go 1, 2, 3 to the left and down 4. And that's going to give me A prime. I'm going to take B and go left 3 and down 4. I lost count. There we go. Okay, and then C. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we can connect our dots for our image. Okay, so on example 4, they give us the graph of the pre-image and the image, and then they want us to describe the translation. Alright, so to tell the difference between the pre-image and the image, we're looking for those apostrophes. So when I look at this picture here, the picture that is on the left here is XYZ. So this would be my pre-image. And then the X prime, Y prime, Z prime, you have to look very closely to see those apostrophes there. Okay, this is going to be my image. Alright, so to pick or to count the translation, I'm going to use point Y. From point Y, I'm going to go to the right, 1, 2, 3. So I'll move right 3. And then I'm going to go up 2. So in words, the translation that I did is right 3 and up 2. To fill that into the formula, the translation would be xy goes to x, and then to the right 3 means I'm going to put a plus 3 because moving to the right is positive. And then y would be plus 2 because moving up is positive. Alright, so looking at example 5 here, okay, my pre-image is what on my paper is the blue triangle here on the left, and the image is the triangle to the right. Now then, I do want to point out that these lines are counting by 2s. Okay, so to go from my pre-image to my image, I'm going to use this point B here. Okay, so to go to the new point, I go over 1, 2 lines, which would be 2, 4. So I move right 4. And then I'm going to go down 1.5 lines. So that would be 2, 3. Alright, so writing this as the formula, the translation would be xy goes to x plus 4, and then y minus 3. Okay, and that's how we do translations.